to be interesting. Well, that is interesting. I can stand back a little further because if I'm too close, it just doesn't seem to be right. All right. Well, that is interesting. All right. Well, let's stop that. Go there. Let's go there, let's go there, go there, there. Okay, running. Hey guys, how's it going? Just getting started. Ashley, Tornado, ¿qué pasa? Oops, I gotta change this. Darbenly, how are you this evening? Okay, so interesting over there. If I stand back here, everything is just fine. Everything looks right. No way to go that way, right there. Right there. There we go. Aspire Tuck and Trailer Repair. Cool beans. Laurie, how are you? Paperboy TV. Interesting. All right. Getting ready to get started. There. This is crooked. Oops. Here we go. Now it's straight. Kashif, how are you doing? Thank you for that. All right, so we're running good there, and Brandon, missed you the other day, dude. All right, so let's get ready to get started. Almost ready. Give me a second or two. Yes, just what I needed. My cup of tea. This is not working properly, so we're going to find something to do with that. I'll put it right there for now. Alrighty. Coachaloo wants to take a look at Glad. Well, today is Sunday. I've got about 15 stocks that I need to go look at for tomorrow. Simone, how are you today? Well, alrighty then. It is the 29th of September. Namaste. How are you? How long have you made 52% per year? About 15 years. Not all the time. I think last year I only made like 45% because I had to carry 3 stocks longer than I wanted to. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Can you check Nike, please? Simone, we'll take a look at Nike. NKE. First of all, let's finish up with what we started out last night. Remember when you slept on Lode, L-O-D-E? I don't trade Lode. It's not part of my repertoire. I have no idea who they are. Hey, rude dude, what happens? All right. Let's progress forward. Now, we have a whole list to take a look at from yesterday. Siri, let's finish up Siri, you already did that. TSM, which is Taiwan Semiconductors. Mark, how you doing? TSM. Oh, before we even do that, I forgot to introduce myself. Hello, everybody. Hey, my name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by The 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, looking for a safe, predictable, and consistent 1% per week. EL, yes, I heard about the strike. Interesting. I'd like to see what happens. Tyrese, how are you today? Let me finish what we're doing. It is the 29th of September. Okay, we have 1 day left of the third quarter. Anyone possibly able to, okay, I'm not even going to read that one. Tomorrow is the last day of the third, you like that one? Tomorrow's the last day of the third quarter. Fourth quarter starts on Tuesday. Good evening, Albert. How are you today? So, that being said, Bryce wants to take a look at CFR. CFR. Now, before I can get to any of the stocks you guys want, I got to go through some of mine because the weekend's almost over, and I do have a list that I need to go through for this coming week. Daisy, how are you doing? All right. First on the list is going to be Taiwan Semiconductor. Here's our high, here's our low, here's where it was, here's where it is. This is the direction it's going. Look at that big drop on Friday. That big drop on Friday is going to make it a no for this week, but it is going to put TSM on the list 2 weeks from today. TSM. I'm kind of hoping you guys are at least taking notes, because if I say something looks good in 2 weeks, well, it's a good idea to take a look at Dennis Mancini. How are you, Dennis? All right, next, General Motors, GM. Ooh, I like what it looks like so far. First thing I always want to see. Question, S&P 500 safe, conservative. It's also Warren Buffett. Yeah, Steve, terribly sorry I don't do those. Those do not make enough money for me. You're a gift from the stock gods. Thank you for your knowledge, brother. Angel Lopez, thank you very much. Mr. Steve, here, now I'm talking to Steve over here on YouTube because I got like way too much going on. Steve, I invest in dividend stocks for a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That comes to over 50% per year. If you know of a fund or another investment that makes 50% per year consistently, I'd be more than happy to look at it. Other than what you suggested is going to be a no. That's a no. Anyway, what do you think about TORM? Never heard of it. It's probably going to be a no. Joe Martin, East Gulf Coast port workers strike tomorrow. Game changer. Not tomorrow, Tuesday. Tomorrow's Monday, the 30th. Tuesday is the 1st. So if something's going to happen, it's going to happen on Tuesday. Are we going to be affected by it? Probably not for a few months. Okay, so going into 2025, that's probably when we're going to start to be affected, because the amount of time it takes to go from the port to the store where you can actually buy it, it's not overnight. It's not even a day or two. It's a couple of weeks. So, that being said, who came out with that one? Ryan, TORM. I've never heard of them. Usually, if it's something I've never heard of, it's going to be no, it's not going to fit into this trading strategy. Yeah. It's not going to fit into this trading strategy. This particular trading strategy was created for a 9-year-old little girl. We'll get to the video of her in a little bit. ExxonMobil, we'll write that down. We'll take a look. Probably not going to get to it today. We got way too much to go through already. More questions you guys get, the longer it takes me to get to everything. Now, as I was saying, the trading strategy came about in 2008 when my 9-year-old daughter, at the time, jumped up in my lap and said, "Daddy, can you teach me what you're doing?" I said, "Sure." Now, I was trading stocks at the time in 2008, and she wanted to learn how to trade also. So here's my challenge. I had to come up with a trading strategy. Had to come up with a trading strategy for a 9-year-old little girl. It has to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. In order for that to happen, it had to be 5 very simple rules. Here's the 5 rules. Ready? Rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Rule number 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. I like 20 consecutive years of profits. 20 years of consistent increased profits. Rule number 4, weekly options are a must. If it does not have weekly options, I have no desire to look at it. Plain, simple, right to the point. No weekly options, no thank you. No dividends, no thank you. It's a simple rule, okay? Rule number 5, make sure the numbers work. Make sure it's going to give you what it is you're looking for. What am I looking for? Safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks. And those are companies that have consistently increased their dividends for more than 2 decades. Now, who are they? They're the dividend kings, 50 years of increased dividends. The dividend champions, 25 years of increased dividends. The dividend contenders, 25 years of increased dividends. Wait a minute, whoa. The dividend champions, 25 years of increased dividends. And the dividend contenders. Have you ever had a SOT, S-O-T? I have no idea what an SOT is, and if it's something disturbing, don't bother telling me. The dividend contenders, sorry. The dividend champions with 25 years of increased dividends. Hey, the dividend contenders, 10 years to 24 years of increased dividends. Then, just for the fun of it, I like to round it all out with Warren Buffett's stock list for 2024. Those 5 lists right there will give me about 300 decent companies to take a look at. Now, we checked the other day, there's 9,664 different companies that we can invest in at any moment in time. Doable on a small account like 8,000? Yes, cool too. How are you doing? Where was I? I have ADD. All right, adult ADD. I get distracted very easily when people ask me questions. Now, understand one thing. I have 7 cameras going tonight. 7. Okay? Here, and here. Which means I have questions coming from here, and here. So if I don't get to your question, it's not like I'm ignoring you. I have a lot going on. Anytime a question happens, it pops up on the screen. It makes me stop what I was thinking and read it. So if your question is not really important, don't ask it. If the stock you want me to look at doesn't have 20 years of increased dividends and weekly options, let's not waste our time. We have a lot of good companies to go for. I'm only on here until 11:30. Okay, every night since January 2nd. Every single night. Okay, I've missed 2. Albert, that's a good question. Hold on. Every single night since January 2nd. 2.5 hours. 9 to 11:30. Okay? Now, let's continue. I've only missed 2 nights. That's it. Have you ever had a sit out on a Monday without buying something due to a massive rallies like last week, feeling like everything spiked last week? Absolutely not. I never had that problem. The reason being, I don't look at things the same way you do. Most of you people are used to looking at it with, let's say, clouded vision. I say clouded vision because you've been lied to for all these years. You honestly think that banks and bankers and the elites put their money the exact same place they tell us to put it? Nope, doesn't work that way. Okay? Now, the way we've been lied to, okay, go to school, go to college, get a job, work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and then retire with 40% income. Okay, take all your money, give it to someone, and they will invest it for you, and they will give you a 4% draw to live off of. Yeah, you try those numbers. They just didn't work for me. Okay, so what I figured out when my daughter asked me for that little trading strategy, well, I'm collecting 1% a week. 1% a week is 50% per year, and I've been doing that for the last 15 years. So I don't need as much money as most people do in order to live comfortably. Hey there, Liz, how are you? So, if you need, look at it this way. If you need to live on $40,000 a year, you're a trader in Brazil. They speak Portuguese there. I don't know any Portuguese, sorry. But I could say, como estás, señorita? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, as I was saying, if you need $40,000 a year, okay, you're going to need at least $1 million at 4%. But if you know how to invest at 1% a week, $40,000 a year can easily be achieved with $80,000. Now, I understand, now I didn't go to college, so I may not be as smart as some of you people, but I do know that $80,000 goal is a hell of a lot easier to achieve than $1 million goal. So if I have to live off of 4%, yeah, I'm going to need $1 million. But if I can get 1% per week, I only need $80,000. Huge difference. And it's a huge difference in your thinking. Most people are led to believe annual percentage rate, annual yield. I'm putting the money here, and a year it's going to give me this. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Sorry, I have bills that come due every single week. which means I need weekly cash flow. I'm used to working. Now, I grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, so when I went to work, I went at 8 o'clock first thing Monday morning. I got out of work at 4:30 Friday afternoon. This is almost the same thing. Okay? I get online and I have a live trading group. I have a bunch of people, some of them are here tonight, that we get together every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we trade a certain trading style in order for us to achieve that 1% every week. Okay? Now, Friday afternoon, we jump in at 3 because we want to make sure all the positions are going to be in a favorable situation for the coming Monday. All right, enough said. Well, while I finish up with my disclaimers, let me also tell you, no, I did not go to college. No, I'm not a professional. No, you should not listen to a damn word I say. You should do your own research. If it sounds interesting and you say, wait a second, is that right? Is that true? Let's call it fact checking. Because we all know that term nowadays, fact checking. Great. I say something, you write it down and go fact check it. Okay? Right here, General Motors. Well, we all know what the stock symbol for General Motors is. Now, do you really need to fact check me on this? Well, here's the last traded price on Friday. Here's the bid, here's the ask. Okay? Here's the current price for all the options, because up here is the stock price, down here are the option prices. Okay, here's the charts. This is a 1-year chart. Well, here's the high, here's the low, this is where it was, this is where it is, and this is the direction it's going. Do you really need to fact check me on that? Be my guest. But don't listen to a damn word I say. Do your own investigating. Okay, this is your money we're talking about. No one has more interest in your money than you. Okay? Now, that being said, let's take a look at some possible stocks that could make us 1% a week this coming up week. Lorgans? How much can one make weekly with 180? Well, apparently, you weren't listening, because when I say 1% a week, 1% of 180,000 is 1,800. Or what does that come to? That comes to $90,000 a year. I could live very comfortably off of $190,000 a year. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes every morning. 10 to 15 minutes every morning, that's a little over an hour. A little over an hour for $1,800 a week. Yeah, I think I might be able to manage that. Rough life, though. Anyway, let's continue. Let's move on. So, that being said, let's finish up with General Motors. Okay, how do we start? Well, Logans, I have no idea how you pronounce that. Logans. Just sit, chill, relax. All good things come to those who wait. Okay, you're new here. Just watch, see if it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to be here until 11:30 tonight. Just getting started. What is it, 9:15? So I'm going to be here for another 2 hours. If you want, sit, chill, hang out, and just watch. See if it makes sense. That's number one. Does it make sense? That's number one. Does it make sense? Number two, do you think you can do it? Because now you have to change your mentality. You have to change your thinking. Because you're so used to investing for annual rates. Now it's totally different. Now I want to invest for weekly rates. I want to buy on a Monday, be out on a Friday. Get that 1%. Anyway, let's keep on going. Lucky Larry, back again. How are you today? All right. General Motors. Okay, let's take a look. General Motors is currently at 46.61. So the 47s are going for 49 cents. Now, it doesn't take a math genius to know that 49 cents is more than 1% of a $47 stock. Hello, grow it. Robin Riches, yeah, I feel what I should base my criteria on when taking trades. Happy to watch. Cool beans. All right. That being said, the number works. So we know if we do this trade, we can make 1%. Well, great, but that's only half the equation. Remember I told you rule number 5? Make sure the numbers work. Well, numbers is plural. Okay, half the numbers is it giving me 1%? Well, currently, yes, it's giving me 1%. Second half is taking a look at the chart. What is the chart telling me? Is it telling me it's the right time to buy? Well, you can look it up too on your own chart, all the way out a year ago. Okay, current. So this is Friday, and that's a year ago. All right, so she dropped down a little bit, shoots on up, drops, shoots up again. Here's where we are. I want to zoom in a little closer to see if it is a good possibility for Monday. A year ago, we opened up at 32.89. Hold on a second. 32.89, that was last year. Now our bottom was 26.35, and that was in the beginning of November. So we got a high of $50.60 in the middle of July. So the middle of July is the high of the year. Then she drops, retraces, drops again, retraces, drops again. Now look at this. This is what I want to see. The last week, Wednesday was the bottom, Thursday's higher, Friday's higher. There's my invitation. I like 2 days to the upside after a 1 day, well, after isolating the 30-day, a new bottom. Here we go. How can you get fact check if a stock supports the genocide of Palestine? I definitely got to get rid of you. I do not do politics here. Do not start with me. Okay? General Motors last 30 days. $30 days ago. Here's our 30-day high. Just about 50 bucks. Drops down to 43.50. Shoots back up to 50 bucks again. Drops down with a gap. I love a gap down because gaps have a tendency to fill. And then 2 days to the upside. Wednesday is the bottom. Thursday's higher. Friday's higher. That's a perfect opportunity for me to jump on in. Okay, Don Quixote de Arriba. Thank you for understanding. I don't do politics here whatsoever. Because I almost guarantee most of you are not going to like my idea of politics. Okay? I come from a very strange generation called Gen X. We really don't care about your problems. There are no such things as safe space. Okay? Would Friday be your confirmation day? Not necessarily so. Anthony, hold on a second. I'm going to answer that question in a second. Right now, I'm talking to Robin. V next week. We'll write it down, take a gander at it, but it's not on my list. Oh, wait a minute. It is on my list for next week. All right. Let's finish up with some of these questions. Now, Robin, would Friday be my confirmation day? I'm not 100% sure what you mean, but let me give you some kind of idea what I'm looking for. Now, let's jump over here to calendar. Now, Robin, hypothetically speaking, if I want to do a trade on General Electric, here it is on the 26th of September. Okay, 26th of September. This little green dot represents the EX dividend. I feel like as long as it's not touching the previous high, you can still place your position. Yep. Perfectly fine. If I want to collect the dividend, here it is right here. Now, in order to collect the dividend, you have to buy the stock on or before the EX date. That's this date right here. 25th, 24th, 23rd, the 11th, the 3rd, the 5th, any day before this date in order to collect this dividend. Okay, great, the dividend's coming. What usually happens when a dividend's coming? Well, the stock has a tendency to go up in value. So, if I wanted to trade this, because when it's there on my calendar, it's telling me that General Electric is going to increase in value before this day. Okay, usually 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the week right here, the 9th to the 13th. So if I buy General Electric, I'm going to buy it 2 weeks before on a Monday. I'm going to buy it at the opening of the day. I'm going to sell a covered call. When you roll, do you stay at the same strike? Milton, rolling is a little bit more complicated. We're not going to talk about that at this moment in time. We're talking about this. So if I'm buying General Electric, I'm buying it 2 weeks before on a Monday. The opening day, the opening price of the day, which is 9:30 a.m. So as soon as 9:30 a.m., my order's already sitting there waiting. So I get filled at 9:30 a.m. And as I get filled with the buying of the stock, I'm also selling the option, the covered call option at the exact same time, because I'm not interested in the stock price going up. I'm interested in collecting the premium, because the premium is usually 1% or higher, where the dividend usually isn't. Now the dividend is 28 cents. Okay? So let's find out what the premium is on General Electric. 28 cents. GE. The current price for General Electric is $185. Okay, so if I buy it at $185 and I sell the $185, well, look at this. The premium is $2.83. Well, the dividend is 28 cents. So why the hell would I want to collect the dividend if it's only 28 cents and the premium is $2.83? Here's the difference between the two. To collect the dividend, you got to buy the stock. Okay, if I buy the stock, well, here's the current price, $185. If I want to collect the premium, I've got to sell this. Well, I can't sell it if I don't own it. Well, you could, but it's a little more complicated. That's not what we're going over here. Here we're going over safety first. Safety first. I buy the stock and then I sell this for almost the exact same price. So if I'm buying it at $185.32, I'm going to sell the 185s. Okay, I am going to lose a little bit, but I'll take that off of that and it'll still give me over $2.50. Well, that's over 1%. That's what I'm looking for. Why would I collect 28-cent dividend? Okay, see right here? Why would I collect a 28-cent dividend when I can collect $2.50 or $2.80 and sell it for the exact same price I paid for it? Well, a couple of things I want in my number one. I want in my favor, well, I want to know when the dividend's coming. Worst case scenario, I'll collect the dividend and a couple of premiums. Okay, so if I buy the stock 185, sell the 185 call, which means I'm selling somebody the rights to buy it for me the same price. It is called a covered call or a buy right or a renting of stock. You can go to YouTube and find a bunch of, you like that? Many, bunch, whole bunch of videos on the covered call and how safe it is. So number one, never buy a stock you do not understand. Another way of looking at rule number one is never buy something you have no intention on holding on to for a long period of time. Well, if you don't know who it is and you don't want to hold on to it for decades, well, then don't buy it. It's that simple. Why are you buying something you have no clue what the hell it is? Okay? That being said, only buy stocks you understand. Sell somebody else the rights to buy it from you for the exact same amount of money. Think of it this way. I'm not sure if some of you guys will get this or not, but I remember back in my high school days where somebody would yell out, "Hey, I'm going to the packy. Anybody need something?" "Yeah, pick me up a 6. Basically, I'm going to the liquor store to get some beer. Great, pick me up a 6-pack. Wonderful. That's the language in those days. Going to the packy, pick me up a 6. Okay, great. Throw him the money, he picks it up, brings it back, I get my beer, he gets a little bit of gas money, which is the premium. Okay? The premium is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the dividend. The dividend, the dividend is only 28 cents. Collect the dividend, I got to buy the stock and hold on to it. Well, every 90 days, they pay out that 28 cents. But guess what else happens every 90 days? Every 90 days, well, actually, they got this every week. Every 7 days they got this. Where I can buy it, I can sell this, I can collect that every Friday or every Monday. Why would I collect the dividend when I can collect the premium? And the premium is usually always higher than the dividend. Don't get me wrong, I'll take the dividend as a consequence, kind of like the icing on the cake, but that's not my intention. My intention is this safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. So I want the odds and probabilities in my favor. Well, what are those? Well, number one, they get the dividend coming up. Well, with the dividend coming up, the stock has a tendency to go up in value. But that's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation is the chart. Buying low and selling high. Not buying high and waiting for it to go higher. Yeah, that just doesn't work for me. I don't buy high and wait for it to go higher. That doesn't work. Okay, so let's go back to General Motors. Now, look what happened to General Motors. Okay, low, high, low, high, low. Now she's going back up again. What else do you think stocks do? They do not come to your house and wash your dishes. Hell, I leave the door open and the soap right by the dishwasher. Doesn't happen. They don't come and trim the hedges. They don't mow the lawn. They do not make the bed and leave little candies on the pillow. No, no, no. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. If you're looking for a stock to do anything other than go up or down, you're sadly mistaken. You're in the wrong place. Alrighty. So, if the last 30 days looks like this, okay, this is the last 30 days. I want to jump in on Monday, which is tomorrow, and I want to be out by Friday. Well, look what happened. Down, up, down, up. Usually, predictability, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all they do. Well, here's the bottom. 2 days of the upside. That's my invitation to get right there. So I'm writing GM down for tomorrow. All right. So let me address this question. So Robin Riches, would Friday be your confirmation day? I suppose you could call it that. Because if I'm buying this tomorrow morning, hypothetically speaking, this is the price I'll be buying it at. Now, I do have to admit, first thing in the morning at 9:30, these numbers are all going to change. But usually that's a rough idea where it's going to be tomorrow morning. But math stays the exact same. If I'm buying it here, that's the purchase price. What is the closest strike price? The closest strike price, what is that selling for? If that's 1% or more, that's what I want to do. If the chart tells me so. Down, up, that's exactly what it's telling me. So by on Monday, hypothetically speaking, it should be above 4650 come Friday. There's no guarantee, okay? But before we do that, let's take a look at one more thing that gives us a little bit more information to see whether or not we like it. Now this is called a seasonality chart. Now what does that show us? Well, that shows us a whole year. All the way to the left, January 1st. All the way to the right, December 31st. The blue line represents this year's movements. January 2nd, Friday, okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now look where it's going. It's going to the upside. Okay. The red line represents 10 years worth of data. That's 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, so on and so forth. 10 years worth of movement. So what do I want to see? I want to see this area right here. The end of September, beginning of October. Look, the fourth quarter. Nice upward movement in the fourth quarter. See it? Fourth quarter starts right here. Okay, right here. That's the beginning of the fourth quarter. What does the stock normally do in the fourth quarter? Well, look at that. You cannot mistake that for anything else. I mean, look, down here, it goes to the upside on the fourth quarter. Well, the fourth quarter is Tuesday. So here's what I got. I got the dividend coming up. Great. I got the fact that stocks usually go up in value just before the dividend. Well, that's great too. That's two. Number three, I have the option chain showing me that I'm getting over 1% for the week. Where's that? Uh-oh. Right there. Get rid of that. Okay. I got the option chain telling me if I buy it here, sell it there, I'm making over 1%. Well, that's number four. Number five, I got the chart telling me, the 30-day chart telling me where the hell are we? Where are we? Okay, I got the chart, the 30-day chart, telling me that, hypothetically speaking, it should be bouncing off of this bottom here. Down, up, down, up. That's what it's telling me. That's four reasons. And reason number five is the seasonality chart. Well, fourth quarter, here it is, October 1st, all the way to the beginning of December. Goes up. Now that's historical movement. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. But here's the thing. If it has done the exact same thing over the last 10 years, odds and probabilities tells me it's usually going to do the same thing again. That's what I'm looking for. Five things. Okay, the dividend's coming up. The premium is worth more than 1%. The 30-day chart saying yes. The seasonality saying yes. My rate of return is over 1%. Everything's looking good. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not. It's a game. It's just like Monopoly. But here's the thing. In this game, as an option seller, I could care less about the stock. The stock is just something to get me my rate of return, which is 1%. Now, if the stock is going in an upward trend and a dividend's coming up, yeah, all that stuff is in my favor. Great, wonderful. I forgot what I was talking about. I did. I'm going to explanation. I forgot what I was talking about. All right, let's just go on. Don't get old. It's no fun. Because you forget things. You do. And once you get to a certain point, you wake up with pains you didn't go to bed with. Golden years really ain't that golden. Anyway, let's go back to where we were. I do like General Motors. General Motors is on my list for tomorrow in case you're looking, in case you were asking. But it is not a recommendation. It is just an admittance. It is an admittance that I admit to you that I am thinking of buying General Motors tomorrow morning because everything is going right in the right position. I do not own any at the moment, but I'm thinking about it because everything looks good. I will wait first thing in the morning to see what she opens up at. If she opens up a little higher, it's a definite yes. If she goes a little lower, that's going to make me say, wait a minute. All right, so hopefully I answered your question, Robin. That was a long way to get there, though. Anthony, what is your take on broader indices with the potential East Coast dock workers strike? You're under the assumption, Anthony, okay? You're under the assumption that this United States that we call it has never seen an issue before. Well, we've seen the oil embargo of the 70s. We saw the stock market crash of the 20s. We saw the Great Depression of the 30s. We've seen World War I, World War II, the crap happening over on the, the East, okay? All those endless wars over there. You make it sound like a dock strike is going to affect the stock market. Yeah, there will be some, not a lot. Is this pre-recorded? Okay, see, Tommy Tube, or Commie Tube? Is that what that says? Commie Tube just asked me a question. Is this pre-recorded? Yes, it is pre-recorded. I knew exactly when you were going to ask that question, and boom, there it is. I recorded it 3 days ago. Imagine that. No, this is live, bonehead. What kind of a question is that? I scalp trade. I love that, but for my retirement fund, swing trades. Landon, ain't nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Okay, now Landon, you and I both know, because you and I doing something totally different. Scalp trading is not something that is generally taught. right? Now, what I am doing is definitely not generally taught. Okay, you and I both making money the, what do they call that? Unconventional way. Okay, we don't give our money to a money manager and they give us a draw. No, we don't do that. We take our own money and we invest it ourselves. Good for you. I'd like to sit down and chat with you sometime, see some of your ideas. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pass along information to people to help them out with their own personal finances. Okay, I'm not charging anything for this. So it's free for everybody that's here. You can ask me any question you want and I'll do my best to answer it. But just remember, I'm not a professional. Okay? Well, I kind of am, but kind of not. Because the way the IRS categorizes a professional trader, well, you got to trade at least 4 times a day. At least 4 trades a day. Well, that's more than me. I do that. Okay? But I didn't go to school for it. I have no idea on some of the terminology because it doesn't mean anything to me because I don't use it. I don't like learning something that's not going to benefit me. Okay? Unlike college nowadays, they have you do all these kind of weird stuff. Well, it's a requirement. No, it ain't. They just need a way to jack up how much money you owe them. Anyway, I took the path less traveled. Let's keep on going with some of these questions. All right, where was I? I missed a lot of questions. All right, here we go. Honey Badger wants to take a look at Colgate Palmolive. CL is on the list. We'll take a look at that. What can beginners start with? OG Ocean, SCHD. Hell no. Don't buy that piece of crap. That's just my opinion, okay? I can sit here and explain to you why I think it's a piece of crap, but if you like it, and you seriously like it, then it confirms to me that you don't know how to do research. That's a big piece of crap. You're basically giving your money to a computer and saying, here, you do it for me because I can't do it myself. Take a look what the rate of return is for SCHD. Not the crap that they tell you. Go look at the factual numbers, okay, that are recorded in the financial websites. Google Finance, Yahoo Finance, New York Stock Exchange information. There's a whole bunch of places you can get financial information. Check out the rate of return SCHD gives on a yearly basis. Check out their increased dividends on an annual basis. How often have they increased their dividends consistently without going backwards? You're going to be sadly mistaken when you see all that factual data. And then you'll be saying to yourself, what the hell was I thinking putting my money into this? Just a thought. Tito Linsky, Pepsi. Don't get me wrong, I like Pepsi. However, Pepsi is just one of those companies where the dividend of the premiums aren't that great. PEP. Okay, currently it's at 170. Ooh, nice move. Now, the 170 is going for 156. Okay, don't get me wrong, I like Pepsi, but it's not a full 1%. It's close to 1%. What is that, like 8.5, 8.8? You know, so just less than 1%, if you're okay with it. But look at the chart, okay? High, drop, here's your 30-day bottom. 2 days, only 1 day to the upside. It's got 1 more day to go to the upside before I'll be thinking about it. Fonz, do you have to hold until the dividend is paid to collect the dividend? Fonz, no you don't. Okay, now there's 4 dates to remember when you're investing in dividends. Okay? 4 dates. Fonz, you ready? Date number 1, the announcement date. Hey there, hi there, ho there, this is executive blah, 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 company blah, blah, blah. We are paying our dividends on this date. This is how much it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. The announcement date, that's date number 1. That's where they tell everybody what the dividend is. Date number 2, the most important one. Date number 2, the EX dividend date, which is represented by this little green dot. The EX dividend date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. Okay, date number 3, another very important date, the date of record. See, Announcement date, date of record. Wait a minute, EX date, date of record. The date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend. It's actually that simple. And the fourth date, self-explanatory, the payment date. Who's that? Tyler Canton, 97. How are you? Okay. So if you want to collect the dividend, you got to buy it before the EX date. That's that little green dot. So let's keep on going. Okay, next question. Can you look at Bank of America when you have a chance? Rob, we looked at Bank of America last night. It looked pretty good. BAC. BAC. Nice. First thing I want to see anytime I look at any stock is the high, the low. Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what is the overall direction? Okay, going to the upside. All right. The current price. $39.40. I can buy it $39.40 tomorrow morning. The $39.50 is going to be the closest, and that is 46 cents, well over 1%. 1% of a $39 stock is 39 cents. But we're looking at 46. Well, 46 is more than 1%. Great. What do I want to look at? Now I want to look at the numbers. A year ago, we're at 27.79. We bottomed out at the end of October at 25. I hate when that happens. Okay, our high of the year, 44.46. And that was in the middle of July. See, middle of July. She drops, retraced, drops again, retraced. Almost looks the exact same as General Motors. Look, high, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, that's lovely. The last 30 days. Okay. Almost looks the exact same as General Motors. 30 days ago, we're at 40.25. We shoot up, look at this, 1, 2, 3 days, couldn't get past 41. Okay, she drops, hits 38, shoots up. Now our high is 41. That was last week. No, not last week, but the week before. Okay, right there. Now we have 4 days of the downside, 2 days to the up, so we're currently at 39.40. Bouncing off of this bottom right here. 39.40 is going for 46 cents, well over 1%. Great. What does it normally do this time of year? Normally this time of year, look at that. Fourth quarter move. Okay? There it says 9.30, 10.7, 10.14. This is each week. Okay, look at that movement. Not huge. I'm not looking for huge movement. I'm looking for a very, very tiny movement. I'm looking for basically going sideways or going up. Okay? Because I want the stock basically to stay the same or go up. Okay? Stocks can go in 3 different directions. Up, nowhere, or down. So, if the odds and probabilities in my favor, 2 out of 3, sideways or up, great. If she goes down, that's not that favorable for me. I mean, I have no problem holding on to the stock, but I would prefer not to. Let's go back. Now, next, BAC. I'm gonna write that one down too. BAC. All right. Next on my list, IBM. IBM. That's gonna be a no. No to IBM, but we will write IBM 2 weeks from today. IBM. Now, the reason why I'm saying no to IBM is look where it is. Friday was the high of the year. Pat Murphy, thank you for that. It was the high of the year. I don't want to buy it at the high and wait for it to go higher. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. So you buy as close as possible to the required date to qualify for the dividends? 2 weeks. Redneck, or it's okay. You also can use a Benzinga Pro to find stocks that are on the uptrend, so you get the dividend, and however high the stock goes, also use a trailing stop. You know, Landon, I'm going to agree with you 100%, but here's the part where I disagree with you, okay? Now, everything you said is true, okay? But what I am doing here specifically is one trading strategy. You're kind of throwing things in there, which are right, but it's not what I'm teaching here. I'm teaching a simple, safe, predictable, and consistent strategy. Now, once you get this part done and over with, locked down, and understand exactly what it is, and you start making a decent return, which is 50% or more, then you can throw that other stuff in there. I didn't teach my 9-year-old anything about trailing stops. Now, a trailing stop is great, but I don't teach it here because it's not simple. Okay? The Benzinga Pro app, yeah, that's not simple either. Okay? There are lots of ways to make more money than what I am teaching. What I am teaching is simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way to lose. Well, yeah, once you get off of that road, yeah, higher probability, higher profits, higher chances of losing. Okay, I like simple, safe, and predictable. I'm 60 years old. I have no desire to go back to work. Okay? I've been lied to so often growing up. The people with the money, you know, the bankers, the investment people, yeah, they've lied to me so many times, telling me, nope, James, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. You need to go back to work, be a slave for the rest of your life until you get this amount of dollars. Yeah, sorry, that doesn't work for me. So I didn't come up with it for myself. That's the funny thing about it. I've been trading for 20 years. It wasn't until my 9-year-old daughter wanted to learn to trade that I came up with the strategy. I came up with it for her. Because if you have a 9-year-old little girl and you're teaching her how to trade and she starts losing money, what do you think she's going to do? First, she's going to cry. Then I'm going to feel like shit. Then mama's going to get involved, and then I'm sleeping on the couch. And you know what happens then? Yeah. It's not a pretty picture. So, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way to lose. That's what I had to come up with. And it was at that point that my trading turned around. Because the first 5 years of my trading, yeah, I made more than most people do. I made more in a week than most people make in a year. I've lost more in a day than most people make in a month. That really affects you. Okay, especially when I lost $91,000 in 1 week. I couldn't sleep for a week after that. If you think I'm kidding, try it sometime. Okay, try taking every penny that you have, investing it into one stock, and then watching it disappear like that. And then tell me how well you slept. Yeah, no, it was very uncomfortable. However, I learned a very important lesson. And guess what? I've never done that again. All right, let's keep on going. What other questions do we have here? Why buy the stock when you can buy an option and leverage it? Snowman, perfect question. I love the question. I don't get this question as often as I should. However, buying an option, great. 80%. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. 4-to-1 ratio. 80% of all options expire worthless. Why do I want to be an option buyer and have a 20% chance of winning? I would prefer to be an option seller and have an 80% chance of winning. So basically that answers your question. Now, another reason why not just buying the option without the stock behind it for safety, yeah, all options expire eventually. Thoughts on Coles this week? Albert, we might get around to it. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I still have 10 stocks that I've got to go through before I continue with your list. Simone, Pfizer is on the list. PFE, yep, it's like number 8 or 9 on the list. We'll get to it. You can also swing trade, which is way better than buying a stock and holding a decade. Yep, Landon, you're absolutely correct on that one too. I love NASDAQ dividend calendar. I like that one also. Thanks. 86, funds, as long as you own it the day before the EX date, you collect it. Yep. Landon, also swing trade. Yep. Snowman, don't buy stocks and keep them. Swing trade if you can't day trade. Now, Snowman, I like some of your thinking. However, you're right where some of the money you can make more day trading, swing trading. However, there is more risk. There is more going into it to buying and selling. I would really like to sit down with you and your 9-year-old daughter as you try to explain to her swing trading applied to volatility. This is not live. Drive your 5. Oh, this is not live. Well, if this is not live, how can I be reading your question and answering it? Think about what you're saying first. Think about the questions you're asking before you say a bold statement such as that. Anyway, it is live, so you know. Anyway, so Snowman, I hear what you're saying. Okay, what I'm reading between the lines is you want to sit in front of your computer and day trade or swing trade. More power to you, brother. I wish you the best of luck. Me, I don't. I'm online for 15 or 20 minutes. I make my trades, I go about my day. That's it. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. I make 1% a week, and it takes me about maybe an hour a week. Okay, my biggest days are Mondays and Fridays. Mondays where I decide what I buy. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I just look to see what it's doing. Friday, I have to do the mathematics and see, am I going to be safe? Do I have to roll it over? Do I have to buy it back? Do I have to sell it? It's really not that difficult. I scalp trade, I love it, but my retirement fund swing trade. Okay, Landon, we already got that. You want to sit in front of the computer? More power to you. I don't want to sit in front of my computer. I prefer to hang out with my 4-year-old grandson or my kids. Now, my kids are in their 20s and 30s. Okay, they're just starting their families. They're just starting, buying their houses. And yeah, they have to work to pay for it all. Dad does not, so Dad gets to sit and chill and help out the yard. I go mow my son's yard. I go hang out with my other son and help him trim the hedges and all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. We're going to put a roof on Mom's house this year. It's nice to be retired, do what I want to do. Okay, short sell look at trend. Okay, I don't short sell either. What do I think of bonds? Monkey hurts. If you can find me a bond that pays over 40% per year, I'll be more than glad to take a look at it. Okay? I am consistently making 50% per year, even during last year, the year before, after all that crap, yep, I still did it. However, okay, I don't want to be in front of the computer all day. Okay? Sell short, okay. Jay, also, your thoughts on SCHD purchase with upcoming 3-to-1 split. Okay, let's say SCHD. No, 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 and hell no. I don't like SCHD. Take a look at the numbers. Seriously, Jay, if you think SCHD is a good investment, even a 3-to-1 stock split, that just confirms to me and tells me that you don't know how to research a good buy or not. SCHD, no. Sorry, if I get more people asking about it, then I'll give you my opinion. Some are buying options are extremely risky. Selling covered calls is a safer strategy. Yep. Week or two. Landon, okay, Snowman, he does not hold forever. Yep, thank you, 86, unless you gapped in, blah, blah, blah. Growth, how often do you trade outside of Mondays? Every once in a while. Here's the funny thing about trading outside of Mondays. Now, when you're selling options, yeah, 80% expire worthless. Great, I'd rather be a seller than a buyer. But here's the thing. The most value you're going to get in a weekly option is first thing Monday morning, because you have a full 5 days of time value. Now, time value is very important in the pricing of an option. They have what's called the Black-Scholes pricing method for options, standardized options. It's very complicated. You'd be wasting your time trying to figure it out. It is. Any herd of stock RR? Landon, to be 100% on with you, no. Oh my God. Randon, I just lost all respect for you, dude. Because when I say I like stocks with 20 years of increased dividends and weekly options, you're giving me this piece of shit, has no options, and is below $1. How can they possibly have 20 years of increased dividends? Okay, you're not listening. You're just basically wasting our time. You buying weeklies? No, I'm selling weeklies. Okay, if 80% of all stock options expire worthless, why would I want to buy and be in the minority, the 20%? Okay, I like things in my favor. 80% of all options expire worthless. I want to be a seller, not a buyer. Okay, big brain win. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. It's Mondays more expensive than Thursdays and Fridays. Be happy. Let me think, because the question you asked is not very specific. Okay? Now, I buy on Mondays. Okay? The stock price has nothing to do with Monday through Friday, other than I'd like to get it on Monday and sell it on a Friday. Now, more expensive, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. But when I'm selling an option, I want to sell it on a Monday, because on a Monday, it's not more expensive, it has a higher value. There's a difference between the two. Okay? EMB is done weekly. Which stock is this? Well, we're past that one. How far, oh, buy? How far out? What? How far are you buying? I have no idea what that means. Big Brain, PAA, Plains All American, PAA. We'll write that one down. PAA. I haven't traded that in a couple of years, but it is on my list. SAG. Just because they had a strong fourth quarter in the past doesn't guarantee a successful fourth quarter in the future. SAG, you are 100% correct. I never said anything about that. I said odds and probabilities. Hold that thought. Okay. When I say odds and probabilities, that means, hold on a second. All right. Now, when I say odds and probabilities, the blue line represents the movement this year so far. We have no idea where it's going. We've got a big question here. So the rest of the week, what are you looking at in the morning? Ideas for next week, your position this week. Okay, go it 10. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking at our positions. We buy on a Monday. Tuesday, we look at them. Wednesday, we look at them. Thursday, we look at them. Friday, we decide what we're going to do. To quote the great John F. Kennedy, we cannot answer the questions of Friday at 3 o'clock with the information we possess on a Sunday night. Okay? Monday, the market's gonna open. We're gonna buy what we're gonna buy. We're gonna sell what we're gonna sell. Tuesday, we're gonna see what happened on Monday. Wednesday, we're gonna see what happened on Tuesday. Thursday, we're gonna see what happened on Wednesday. And then Friday, well, we're gonna see what happened over the whole week, figure out where we are, where do we think the stock's gonna go, and then make our decision. Okay, so we don't know any day of the week what's gonna happen Friday afternoon. Remember rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. Always buy as if you're going to buy and hold it for a long period of time. If you do not know who AT&T is or what AT&T does, don't buy it. It's that simple. Good morning from India. Good morning to you too. Namaste. So, to answer your question, SAG, just because they had a strong quarter in the past, okay, doesn't mean they're going to have a strong quarter this year. You are 100% correct. However, if 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, if 10 years in a row the fourth quarter goes up, 10 years in a row, well, odds and probabilities are telling me that considering they're AT&T and they don't invent a new product every year, it's the exact same thing year after year after year after year. They're just making phone calls, patching thingies, whatever AT&T does. They don't do anything new. So what is possible to make it not do the exact same thing it did last year? More than likely, okay, now when you go to work, usually, you sit in your seat, you do your thing, and then next day you sit in your seat, you do your thing. Next day you sit in your seat, you do the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's the job of AT&T. Reach out and touch someone. Remember that? Okay? They do the same thing year after year after year. So logic, reason, and common sense tells me, it's not guaranteed, you're 100% correct. If for the last 10 years in a row, it has gone up in the fourth quarter. Well, that's the pony I want to ride. Doesn't guarantee it's going to make it, but that's the pony I want to ride. One that's done the exact same thing. They call it the favorite. If it's done 10 times in a row, more than likely it's going to do it again. It's not guaranteed. You're 100% correct. But I'd rather buy something that has some kind of historical performance in which I am looking to obtain. Okay, I want to buy a stock and I want it to go up. Well, if it's done 10 years in a row, it just might do it again. Not guaranteed. You're right. It's not guaranteed. So you buy the stock, then you do a covered call the same day. Actually, Tyrese, I do it the exact minute. As a matter of fact, we are going to do a trade. And you know what? Let's do one right now. Let's do Bank of America. This way you get to see how it works. All right, so we're going to go here. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to standard. Okay, I'm going to slide all the way over here. Now, earlier in the show, okay, about an hour ago, half hour ago, we looked at General Motors, and it looked good for a possibility tomorrow. Ben, how you doing? So let's actually do one. Now, General Motors, GM. Okay, remember, I'm gonna tack it the same way I do every one. First thing I want to see, the high, the low. Where was it a year ago? Where was it on Friday? What overall direction is it going? Well, I can get a third grader to say, hey, that's going up. Well, the 1 year chart, plain and simple, it looks like it's going up. Great. Now I want to take a look at the numbers. First thing, it takes you 2 seconds. 2 seconds. High, low, was, is, direction. That's it, 2 seconds. What is it currently? It's currently at 46.61. The closest strike price to 46.61 is the 46.50. The 46.50 is going for 71 cents. But wait, you're losing money. You're absolutely right, I am. If I'm buying at 46.61 and selling it for 46.50, I'm losing 11 cents. Well, the 11 cents got to come out of the equation somewhere, so let's take it out of the equation right here. At 71, well, let's take the 11 cents out of this. So I'm looking at 60 cents. Okay, 11 cents subtracted from 71 is 60 cents. 60 cents is still more than 1% on 46.50. Okay? All right, that being said, I get my 1% with the numbers. The chart looks okay. Now let's look a little deeper. Okay, a year ago we were at 33.43. Okay, no arguing that. That's what it was. The bottom of the year is right here. Okay, the beginning of November. Okay, and it was right at 26.35. All factual information so far. Okay, our high is right there. Okay, mid of July, the high is $50.50. Okay, then she drops like a rock, shoots back up, drops again, back up, down, up. See the pattern? It is so blatantly obvious. High of the year, bottom, high, bottom, up. Up, down, up, down. That's all stocks do. If you think they're going to do something better, hey, let me know. I'd like to see it. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's it. Okay, the last 30 days. Now, the last 30 days, only because it gives me an idea. It's not guaranteed, just like, I forget what his name was. Nothing is guaranteed. Well, except for death and taxes. But here's the last 30 days. 30-day high, she drops the 30-day bottom. Shoots up, drops again. Now she's going to the upside. And look at the gap. She actually gapped down on Wednesday. I love a gap, especially because gaps have a tendency to fill. So we have a dividend coming up. We have a gap here, which usually fills on a up, down, up trend. I can get a third grader to show you that. And then for frosting on the cake, check this out. Is it guaranteed? Nope. But look at the third quarter. The third quarter from September 30th to the beginning of December. Look at that nice run up. Now, is it guaranteed? No. But if it's done the same thing for the last 10 years, odds and probabilities and common sense tells me it's probably going to do the same thing. Fine. So I've decided I like to buy it. So this is what I'm going to do, is get rid of all this. Now I'm going to change, I'm going to show you exactly how the trade looks. I'm going to change this right here, where it says spread single. I'm going to change it to covered stock, which is a covered call, buy right, whatever you call that. And then the whole thing changes. Fine. But remember I said I want the 46.50. Here's the strike prices. 44, 44.50, 45, 45.50, 46, 46.50, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, I want to go to the 46.50. Here it is right there. I want to hit buy. Here's the trade. It pops up. It automatically fills to 1,000 shares. If you can't afford 1,000 shares, just change it. Change it to 400. Change it to 500. Okay? 400 shares. If you can't, afford 1,000, change it to 400. Change it to 100. Change it to 20,000. Whatever your position is. All right. So, 400 shares, 4 contracts. I'm buying 400 shares. I'm selling 4 contracts. Each contract is 100 shares. So you have to buy 100 shares of stock to have 1 option contract. Now, I'm buying GM for October. Very important. For October. That is this coming Friday. I am buying the stock. I am selling the option that expires on this coming Friday. So I've got to be right, or I got to hold on to General Motors. I have no problem holding on to General Motors. That being said, I'm going to change this to a market order because I want it to fill very first thing in the morning. Limit order, it will sit on the screen for the market maker and he decides whether or not he wants to fill it. Market orders are filled instantaneously. What is that? Candula? Okay, fine. All right. Let's hit click and send. And this is what the trade is going to look like. Now, I always tell people, read it out loud. Because the biggest mistake most beginners make are hitting the wrong button and using the wrong words. They're buying when they should be selling and they're selling when they should be buying. Okay, so here's the trade right here. The order description. Buy 4 covered General Motors, 100, those are the weeklies, for October 24. Well, that's this coming Friday. Okay? The $46.50 call option against General Motors. I'm buying General Motors and I'm selling the $46.50 call. Okay? Market at the market price. That means as soon as it fills, as soon as the market opens tomorrow morning, this order will fill. Now, look at the tail end. To open. Well, I'm opening 2 orders. Okay, 2 sides. I'm buying the stock and I'm selling the option all at the exact same time. 1 trade, but 2 orders. I'm buying and selling at the exact same time to open. Okay, the next line. The next line is our break-even point. Well, the break-even is 45.75. As long as the stock ends up Friday afternoon at 45.75 or higher, I am making some money. Okay, preferably I would like it to be above 46.50. Okay, then I'll make all the money, but my break even is 45.75. And the stock right now is in an uptrend, and it's going into the 4th quarter, which again is an uptrend. 46.61. It is General Motors. They have been in business for over 100 years. I can keep going a whole bunch of reasons to get General Motors. But this is not a recommendation. Remember that. It's not a recommendation. It's just what I'm doing. All right, so maximum profit. Remember where I said safe, predictable, consistent? Well, it's telling me exactly what I'm making on this trade before I even do it. Well, that's predictable, right? And if I get 1% every week, well, that's consistent. Is it safe? Well, I'm buying General Motors, a 100-year-old company. I think it's safe. Okay? They've been in business for over 100 years. They've got to be doing something right. That being said, $300 is my maximum profit. This is where we're going to need the calculator. Now, to figure out what your rate of return is, you take your profit, $300, okay? The profit Maximum profit, $300. Let me get the cursor there for those of you on the big screen. Okay? Maximum profit, $300. The cost of the trade, including commissions, $18,302. So I'm going to divide it by 18,000, divided by 18,302. And it gives me a rate of return of 1.639%. 1.6, that's more than 1.5% for 1 week. So let's sum it down really quickly. 1.6%, 1.63% for the week is the rate of return. Now, the company's over 100 years old. Almost everybody on the planet has heard of General Motors. Well, they all heard of Ford, Chrysler, General Motors. Those are the big three. Everybody knows who they are. So the question is, number one question, does it make sense? Question number two, okay, do I like General Motors at this price? Okay? Question number three, do I want to own General Motors in case this goes against me? Well, if it goes against you, you can write another covered call next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after. The nice thing about General Motors, you could do it every single week. It's always, always, always about the numbers. What am I buying it for? What am I selling it for? What premium am I collecting? What is my rate of return? And does it make sense? Is this a company I want to buy? I get no problem whatsoever buying General Motors. Now, that being said, all I have to do is just hit the send button, and that goes right to the market maker. And first thing tomorrow morning, that will fill. All right. Hopefully that was simple enough. All right. So let's get out of that. Let's change this, and let's go back to our list. Let me finish up with some of these questions. Holy shit, I got 100 questions. Landon, is he teaching to invest through fundamentals are technical? I have no idea, Landon, what you're talking about, but okay. Tyrese Abdul Rahim, same day, same time. Yep. What do you mean 1% on the chain? Trent, what do I mean 1% on the chain? This is the option chain. Okay, up here, those are the stock numbers. Open, high, low, close, bid, ask, volume. Those are all the numbers you need to know about the stock that you're thinking about buying. Well, what's the opening price? What's the high of the day? What's the low of the day? How much volume is there? Those are questions you need to know beforehand. Let's keep on going. What's your top three? Macy's, Nordstrom's, and Kohl's. How? I just missed that question. Oh, wow, I missed a lot of questions. Oh, here I am, back to where I'm going. What's your top three stocks? How's your wife doing? Hopefully good. That's not good. Boeing layoff. Yep, Boeing's is having layoffs. Yes, thanks. Nike's on the list. How far you buy the covered call? I buy the stock first thing Monday morning. I sell the weekly covered call. The example I gave right here was General Motors at the current price, and the weekly option for October, which is this Friday. I only do weeklies. You need big money for your strategy, correct? No, absolutely not. My grandson started out with 50 bucks. Granted, he's only 4 years old, and I take care of his account for him. Yes, Mikey G, I know that. Thank you. He sells covered calls. I don't buy calls. Absolutely. No, you don't. Sorry, I mean sell. Okay. Robbins. No, you can start any amount of money and build compound. Yep. How do you feel about Kava? Does it have 20 years of increased dividends? Does it have weekly options? I've seen the stock before. It's a no. The boycott of United is the making. I bought Hyundai, ever Tesla. Okay, Don Quixote, I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. How do you feel about Kava? Yeah, no. Definitely no one's going to take care of your money better than yourself. Minty Fresh, how are you? Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Nice to see you back again. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Nobody has more interest in your money than you. Mikey G, I see that. I was just using General Motors as an example. Yes, I'm more on doing technical analysis and charts with new where your investment is more fundamental. Okay, I like to call it as common sense. Okay, company's over 100 years old. Company is over 100 years old. That's number one. The company consistently increases their dividends. That's two. Dividends have a tendency. Dividend stocks have a tendency to increase in value just before the dividend date. That's number three. If I buy the stock, sell a covered call, which just so happens to be the safest trading strategy there is, that's number four. If I'm collecting over 1% consistently on a weekly basis, that's number five. You need to give me something that I am missing on the equation in which I gave you. So I've got all these things going in my favor. Okay, number one, I want to make sure the company is a company I know and I understand and I have no problem buying whatsoever. I got no problem buying General Motors. As a matter of fact, the current price is very close to the book value. More fundamentals. Yep, I got that. You don't use any indicators, just candles. Okay, Robin, the indicators that I use, are you ready for this? Get a pencil, piece of paper. I'm going to tell you the key indicators I use. You ready? Here it comes. 20 years or more of increased dividends. Weekly options. That's it. Those are the only two indicators I use. 20 years of increased dividends, weekly options. Then I buy it 2 weeks before the dividend date. Landon, you don't need indicators, just helps understand what's going on. Yeah, I get that. But you're missing, and Landon, I understand what you're saying. Really, honestly, I do. There are lots of ways to perfect it, to make it easier, to make it better, to make it more consistent. However, it was created for a 9-year-old. We can't see your screen to understand you better. Jerry, how can you not see the screen? Okay, the screen is live on YouTube. Whoops, wrong one. Whoops. Hold on. Let me see, what is he saying? Oh, no, this one right here. YouTube. Okay, here's the screen on YouTube. What's wrong one? Yeah, and I just changed it 2 seconds ago. Hello. Hold on. Let me see, what is he saying? Oh, no, this one right here. YouTube. Yeah, so it's working fine on YouTube. I just don't know which issue you're having. Okay, so we get some more questions here. Will you answer any off topics like what may happen with China purchasing less and the dock workers strike? What does that have to do with dividend capturing or dividend investing? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, if you know of something that's directly related, why would General Motors go down if the dock strikers go on strike? And if they do go on strike, how long is it going to take in order for it to actually affect us? You think they're starting on Tuesday. You think something's going to happen Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No. Something's going to happen. You're not going to see it until December or January. All right, let's keep on going. Landon, the candles do help a lot. It tells you the opening, the close, and the highest it was. Yeah, I get all that. Okay. Andrea, how are you today? Been watching Advanced Auto Parts. Think it may have hit its bottom. Well, cool. Is it on our list? No, that's Apache. AAP. All right, Andrea, thanks for that. We'll take a look at that. Why haven't you been replying to me? Edward Wiles. Because I'm not interested in cryptocurrency whatsoever. I tried telling you that and you just don't listen. What are your thoughts on oil right now? Lily, I thank you for that. Now, you're under the impression, Lily, that I make my trading based on, can we call it subsects? No. Now, I base my trading, who said this? Lily. All right. Okay, Lily, you're under the impression that I take all my stocks and I categorize them by industry. No, I don't. I categorize them by when they pay their dividend. So, the week right here, let's go Let's go to October. Okay, October. You is a professional trader. Thank you very much. Okay, month of October. October 24. Okay, tomorrow's the 30th. The 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th. All these stocks right here. John Deere, Fifth Third Bank, Mendeley's, U.S. Bancorp, Cardinal Health, Comcast, Cisco, American Express, Bristol Myers Squibb, J.P. Morgan. All of these companies right here are paying a dividend next week. Now, I can almost guarantee, okay, credit cards. Bristol Myers Squibb, nothing to do with credit cards whatsoever. J.P. Morgan, nothing to do with credit cards, but they do have to do with money. Cisco, nothing to do with credit cards. Comcast, nothing to do with credit cards. Okay? Cardinal Health, nothing to do with credit cards, nothing to do with money. U.S. Bank, yep. Mendeley's, yep. Fifth Third Bank, yep. John Deere, nothing to do with credit cards, nothing to do with oil. I don't categorize any of my stock picks by the industry. I really honestly don't care what they do. My main concern, are they consistently profitable? Is the management in place running the company profitably? I'm taking my money, I'm putting my money in their hands. Are they capable? Are they consistently profitable? Well, if they have 20 years or more of increased dividends, well, yeah, they're consistently profitable. That's what I'm looking for. That's where I want my money to go. You guys have to decide where you want to invest your own money. Does it make sense? Is it safe? Is it giving you a decent return? These are questions you need to ask yourself. Okay? But I don't categorize them by industry. Okay? Hopefully that answered that question. I do get that one once in a while. All right. Are they all consecutive days? All right, Dave, I have no idea what you mean by are they all consecutive days. Now, Dave, what you're forgetting, I'm not quite sure if you were here when I said it. I've got 7 cameras going, which means I have 7 different areas where conversations are coming from. Conversations from here, conversations from here, here, and here. So when you say something, like those 5 little words you just blurted out, you know what you're talking about. I don't. You have to put all your words together and ask the question all in one little space so I can see what the question is. Because if the other half of that question is way up here and I didn't see it, well, I can't answer the question. And I don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring their questions. What software are you using? Dawn, that is Think or Swim. It's not software, it is a trading platform. Yeah, and I use Yahoo Finance to do my research. I signed up last night. Paul, woohoo, cool beans. Oh, I had to go back. Missed those questions. All right, questions. IBM, UPS, Malik, how are you today? We got an hour left to go, and I still have 10 stocks that I want to look at. All right, so I'm going to stop questions very shortly, and I'm going to start looking at the stocks that I have on my list for this coming up week. UPS. What was that other one? QCOM. 5. No, 5 does not have 20 years of increased dividends. UPS, IBM, QCOM, they probably do. How do I start? You're new here, just keep coming back and keep learning. When you're ready, send me your phone number. I'll give you a call. We'll have a nice chat. What's your playbook? Javier, I've been doing this every single night for the last 9 months. So you can go all the way back to January and watch all the way to today. It's the same thing, day after day after day. Should I sell Eli Lilly? Jack, I have no idea who you are, so I really can't give you any idea. And if I'm reading that correctly, okay, Jack, if I'm reading that correctly, Jack, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service, brother. Been trying to figure out if PMCC would work for this for more capital efficiency while waiting for more capital. PMCC, Javier, how much capital have you accumulated over the years? Plenty. How's that for an answer? Plenty. While waiting for more capital. Okay, Michael. PMCC. Now, PMCC, is that a stock? PMCC. Peloton. PMCCF. Peloton Minerals Corporation. Okay. I have WA, cool beans. What do you think about AST stock? Yeah, no, sorry. But I don't think the PMCC may work well for this buy right strategy. I've been watching for the past week. Jeff, well, thank you, I think. I don't know how to buy options. I only buy stocks. Well, Don, there's nothing wrong with just buying stocks. They say there's an ass for every saddle. Okay? Whether you like it, whether you don't, whether you want to do it, that's totally up to you. What platform do you use? Javier, this is Thinkorswim. It's available through Charles Schwab. Bitto, yeah, no, we looked at that one last night, and it was a no last night, and it's going to be a no tonight. What site do you recommend to see data for beginners? Well, data you can find on any site. First thing what you need to do is figure out what it is you want to do. There are so many different trading strategies out there. There's so many different places to put your money. Okay, I only show one trading strategy only here for free. Now, I know a hell of a lot more trading strategies, but I don't want to confuse people. And I'm telling people the story about my 9-year-old daughter. So I don't want to sway from the actual truth, how it happened. She was 9, she wanted to learn to trade. It had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, with no way to lose. Fine. So the same rules I gave her are the same rules I'm telling you. Never buy something you don't understand. Never sell at a loss. Make sure the company's consistently profitable. Must have weekly options. And make sure the numbers work. It's very simple. Adults have a tendency to make it more complicated than it needs to be. And that's just the fact. 9-year-old daughter, she was making between 5 and 6% every month. Now, 15 years ago, we were trading monthly options because we didn't understand weekly options back then. But as soon as we took a look at weekly options, it's like, how could I have missed it? Okay, what site do you recommend to see data for a beginner? I like Yahoo Finance. You're going to have to go and find what best for you. It's different for everyone. Can we check for 5 stock? Dave, Dave, I don't think you understand how much I hate wasting my time. I already said no to 5 once, and apparently you don't like hearing the word no. I said no, and you don't like it. I don't like monthly optionable stocks. Monthly optional stocks have an opportunity to do a covered call once a month. Javier, yes, I do. I live stream while I trade first thing in the morning. So back to Dave. Dave, monthly options. There's only 12 months in the year, which means I can only get 12 option trades. 12. Now, I didn't go to college. I admit that freely. But I do know 52 is better than 12. The numbers, I've never seen a monthly optional stock work as good as the weeklies. Never. Okay? You get 1 or 2% each time you do an option trade. Well, 12 times, that's, what, 24%? Great. More power to you. Good for you. I like weeklies. That's 52. 1% per week, 52 times, that's over 50%. What site do you recommend? I already did that. Sorry, Musa, but what is your strategy? We just did that a while ago. How much do you have invested? EH, 98% of all of my funds are invested at all times. Okay? Monday morning, I take 98% of all the money I have and I invest it. And I get 1% return on Monday. I have a credit card and a debit card attached to my trading account. If I need to buy something, I do it on a Monday because that's when all my money comes in. Why don't you like SCHD? Holy shit. Why don't I like SCHD? All right, here we go. I knew it would come up eventually. This is the third time. I got a rule. Come up 3 times, I'll do it. Joshua, how you doing? Oh, look at this. SCHD. Now, for those you don't know, this screen right here behind me is live on YouTube at this time. Now, I'm sorry if it's bright. I have no idea how to make it darker, but it does give me the numbers I'm looking for. Now, what we're looking at this moment in time, Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, electronically traded funds. You're giving your money to a computer to trade for you because you're too damn lazy to do it yourself. I call it like I see it. There's no safe places here. If you get offended early, you might as well just leave. I'm from Generation X. I really don't give a shit about your failings. Terribly sorry. But let's look at SCHD, and I'll tell you why I don't like it. Okay, so what we're looking at now are all the dividends that SCHD paid. You can go anywhere you want to find them. Okay, now, 2011 is when they first started paying a dividend. So from 2011 to currently right now, that's 13 years. That's not 20 years. Okay, but wait. It gets worse. Remember, I like 20 years of increased dividends. I like to invest my money in companies that have consistently, this is important, are you ready? Consistently increase their dividends for 20 years or more. Okay, SCHD does not do that. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers. Now, they only have 13 years of dividends. 12, 14, 21, 21, 26. Ooh, that looks great, doesn't it? Goes from 26 to 20. That's not increasing. I didn't go to college, but I do know from 26 to 20, that is a decrease of 26 cents. Now, 26 cents on a $26 payment, that's about 20% decrease. So, 12, 14, 21, 21, 26, 20. That's going down. That's going backwards. All right, let's keep on going. I'm going to read them fast, see what you say, see what you think. 23, 23, 25, 27, 25, backwards. 28, 27, backwards. 31, 30, backwards. 27, backwards. 30, 32, 24, backwards. 40, 33, backwards. 33, 34, 35, 26, backwards. 41, 35, backwards. 42, 49, 47, backwards. 44, backwards. 44, 60, 50, backwards. 54, 59, 62, 52, backwards. 70, 64, backwards. 70, 60, backwards. 70, 67, 66, backwards. I can do this all day long. They don't consistently increase. If they don't consistently increase, that means they're not consistently profitable. Now, if you take the profits of a company, let's say it's 100 billion, and they take 10% of that and they give it back to the investors. Well, if they're consistently profitable, now, hypothetically speaking, I could be wrong, but don't hold it against me. But here's the thing. Logic, reason, and common sense tells me if the company is consistently profitable and X amount goes back to the investors and that number increases every year, well, then they're consistently profitable. If, on the other hand, that number goes up and down, well, they're not consistently profitable. They made money, they lost money. They go from 74 to 61. Then they went from 82 to 76. That's not consistently increasing. But wait, it gets worse. It really does, believe it or not. They're not consistently profitable. That's a hell no. They've only had 13 years of increase of dividends, not increased dividends, but dividends. So they share the profits, great, but they don't consistently increase. That's bad, in my humble opinion. So that's 2 reasons right there why I don't like it. But it gets worse. Let's go to the summary page. Same thing. Okay, SCHD, 8426. What's the yield for the year? Okay, the yield for the year, 3.35%. The federal government is paying 5%, but you think 3.3% is good. More power to you, brother. Okay, I'm a strictly numbers person. Okay, if I'm looking at something that's not consistently profitable, doesn't have 20 years of increased dividends, and has a rate of return of 3.35%, I don't understand what the hell you're thinking if you think this is good. Now, I said I don't like SCHD. I gave you the reason why I don't like it. Whether you still do it or not, that's totally up to you. I never tell people what to do. But I will give you my honest opinion. I'll give you my opinion so honestly that I really don't give a rat's ass about your feelings if I hurt your feelings. Because this is not a safe space. And I honestly don't care. All right? Anyway, let's go. I probably should feel bad about that. But I don't. Because we're all adults here. Okay? I'm not one of those participation trophy people. Yeah, you win, you lose. That's it. Okay? Nobody ever remember who got second place in the Olympics. Who got silver in the Olympics? Nobody knows. We know who got the gold, but we have no idea who. You're either a winner or you're not. That's it. Are all your calls covered? Absolutely, Everett. All right? When I say simple, safe, predictable, and consistent, no way to lose, it's the safest trading strategy there is. You buy a stock, you sell the rights through a covered call to someone else to buy them from you at a certain price by a certain date. I like doing the weeklies. I do not like the monthlies. They just don't pay enough. Terribly sorry. Where do I find a dividend stock list? Nick, Papa John, how are you today? Okay, so Nick, where do you find them? You ready? Google. Go to Google, Bing, whatever search engine you want to use. What you're going to put in the search department, it says Dividend Kings List 2024. 54 companies that have increased their dividends for more than 5 decades. Dividend Kings List, wait a minute, Dividend Aristocrats List 2024, you'll get 67 companies that have increased their dividends for 25 years or more. Then you have the Dividend Champions. Dividend Champions List 2024, 150 different companies that have consistently increased their dividends for more than 25 years. That's a quarter of a century. And then pulling up the end, you have your Dividend Contenders List. Dividend Contenders List 2024, 300 companies that have consistently increased their dividends for 10 to 24 years. Not quite making either one of those more prestigious lists. Fifth list, I like to throw in there every once in a while, Warren Buffett's List 2024, because Warren's a good trader. Everybody knows who he is. If it's good enough for Warren, it's good enough for me. That's my philosophy on that one. Hollywood, what are we buying tomorrow? I don't know about you and the mouse in your pocket, but I know what I'm buying tomorrow. Opinions on spider puts for mid-January. Good luck with that. You do realize 80% of all options expire worthless. I don't buy options, so I can't give you advice on that one. Okay, got it. Be happy. AZO, not on the list. AZO, that's AutoZone, isn't it? AZO. AZO. Yeah, AutoZone. Yeah, AutoZone's not on the list. It's a monthly. You may like the stock, you may like the company, but I don't want to buy it because it's a monthly. The numbers just don't work for me. Nick, you're welcome. All right, Musa, selling covered calls on dividend stocks for 1% gold. 86, thanks for that. Wonderful. Oh, look, it's almost 11. I don't do SPY. Thank you. What software is that? That is Thinkorswim. What company would company look at? AutoZone, yeah. Shinaba wants to take a look at Nike. Nike's on the list. We'll look at it in a little bit. I use this Thinkorswim, but you can also use Finviz for the same information. I'd buy tomorrow. Cool beans. Nike. Why? Nike. We're going to take a look at Nike in a little bit. It's on my list to take a look at. I want to go through all these questions first before we finish up. No chance to start with less than 10 grand. Well, actually, yes, you can. Okay, my grandson starts out with $500 or $50. Okay, a little bit different strategy, but it's still basically the same. What if the stock drops hard? Do you typically hold it long term and just keep selling calls? Dan, that's exactly what I do. If you're under the impression that you're going to buy something and it's going to drop to the floor, you're absolutely right. But then the flip side, if you buy something, it's going to shoot to the roof. Yep, you're going to find that also. You're also going to find you're going to buy something that goes absolutely nowhere. That's all stocks do. They go up, they go down. Just to set your mind at ease, I bought Target, Kimberly-Clark, and, oh, that was the third one, PPG. Target, PPG, and Kimberly-Clark last year. I've held Target for 6 months, PPG for 6 months, and Kimberly-Clark for 9 months last year. The stock dropped, fished around the bottom for a while, shot back up before I could sell them. Do I want to hold for 9 months? Hell no. I don't want to hold for 3 weeks, but sometimes I have to. Do I buy futures? No, I do not. Do you buy puts and calls? I don't buy any options at all. I only sell options. Michael, how do I scale in without having enough to buy 100 shares? You're going to have to take your time and go with low value stocks. Now there's some stocks like $3 or $4. Yeah, you can do with those. Hold on, let's pull one up. Okay, MPW. Okay. All right. Michael. Here we go. Whoops. Kind of come over to the side. MPW, $5. Walgreens, $9. Ford, $11. CLF, $13. Macy's, $15. Key, $16. VFC, $19. Kinder Morgan, $21. AT&T, $21. Nordstrom's, $22. Intel, $23. Siri, $25. Halliburton, $28. That's just that list. I have a bunch of other lists. Hold on. Ooh. Nokia, $4.37. GNW, $6.70. NUS, $7.30. HLF, $7.40. GT, $8.77. KGC, $9.46. So on and so forth. There's a whole bunch of them, all below $40. Anyway, they're out there. You just got to find them. Your screen is too small. That's a 55-inch screen, dude. How can you say that's too small? I signed up last night. Paul, I saw that one. What makes a good dividend stock? One that consistently increases its dividends for more than 20 years. That's my opinion. Walgreens. Okay. Is your method available to learn somewhere? Yeah, Michael, I actually have a morning trading group. That's one. You can always go. Let's get out of here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go over here. Okay, so here is my website. You can do some research on this. I've had it for over 20 years. The 10-minute trade is over 20 years old. You can actually click here for live trading, because I actually do have live trading classes. This may sound familiar. Simple, safe, predictable, 1% per week, live nightly training, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Slide down a little bit. If you're looking to strike it rich overnight, this ain't it. My main focus is simple, safe, predictable, and consistent 1% per week. That's over 50% per year. The video right here basically tells you everything I just told you right now, but it's pre-recorded. It's not live. Okay, slide down a little bit more. Here's something that most people have a tendency to forget. Investing your own money should be difficult. Stop making it more complicated than it needs to be. This trading strategy that I'm teaching you here for free was created for a 9-year-old. Adults have a tendency to make it complicated. They want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do, yeah. Create it for a 9-year-old. Stop making it. Financially Financial Lady B, how are you? Too many scams with CR. I have no idea what CR means. Okay, but you're right. There's 27 people at this moment, as far as I know, there's 27 other people pretending to be me. 27. Okay, so there's a good chance you are going to be contacted by one of those 27 people. I own 10 shares of Siri now. I can't use that, but I can add 90 shares. Yes, you can. Okay, you can also sell Siri once you make a profit off of it. Okay, so what do I mean? Let's go to here to take a look at Siri. Siri. Okay, so here's Siri. First thing I want to see. Hi, hello, where was it, where is it? Take a close look. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's all it does. Then it has a big drop right here. Okay, drops, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's all it does. If you like Siri, great. When you got a little bit of a profit, fine, sell it. When it drops back down again, buy it. It's really not that difficult. Okay, look. Low, went up, it pulled back. Went up, pulled back. Went up, pulled back. Went up, pulled back. Went up, pulled back. Now it's going to the upside again. Okay, when a stock goes up, take your profits. I like 1% a week. You can always jump in and do it again. Energy transfer, huh, Cameron? 40 net. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Michael, if you go to my website, well, I was just there a second ago. You hit view more. Okay, you can come over here to my YouTube channel, which has videos going all the way back to 2012. Okay, 12 years ago I first started doing videos. Oh, I haven't done this at all today. Okay, videos. Let's go to the oldest. This is always people's favorite.
Hi, I'm Tracy, and as you being part of my internet website club thingy, which my dad doesn't like me calling it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks that I'll be trading, and every month you'll be getting 4 lists of stocks that you can choose from that'll help.
There's over 20 days in the month of January. There's over 20 days in February. There's over 21 days in the month of March. What does that mean? Okay, that's me, 2012. That was my daughter when she was 11. Remember, I taught her when she was 9. So this is after 3 years of trading. We started, you can barely see it, but there's a whiteboard behind us, and we had to write stuff down on a big whiteboard because they didn't have the technology that we have now. Okay? So yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I'll be saying the exact same thing I said for the past 15 years. NGG Tree asked Jeeves, where do I get information on the strategy? Trying to learn about options. Okay. Well, Michael, you could just drop me your phone number and I could give you a buzz. Dave, Vista Energy, I have no idea who that is. Do you make money off your YouTube channel? No, I don't. I don't. You know how much money I make off of TikTok? I make 2 cents a night. I look at it and say, what, are you kidding me? 2 cents a night. I haven't even cashed out. It's like 40 bucks in there. Since the beginning of January, yeah. I don't do this for the money. I do this because I'm sick and tired of the powers that be feeding us bullshit. Here, give us your money. We'll give you 4% draw a year. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. And there are other people out there just like me that feel the same way. But I'm not doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for my children and my grandchildren. Because YouTube will hold on to videos for decades. TikTok, we don't know yet because they're not old enough. But I stream on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I get 2 YouTube channels. But YouTube will hold on to the videos for decades, as long as I continue adding videos to it. So I'm creating it for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. So when I'm long gone, they can still come back to these videos. How did Grandpa do that? So here's all the videos. So I'm documenting what I am doing. I'm also contributing to society. Because at some point in your life, when you're retired, you think to yourself, wait a minute, I know all this shit. I don't want it to go with me to the grave. I'm not delusional. There'll be a day where I'm not gone. But what I have up here, I want to have it put someplace so that my children and my grandchildren can access it. You guys just happen to be the happy coincidence to benefit from that information. More power to you. I hope it works for a lot of you. Now, there's a lot of people on here that have been here since January, since February, and since March. Okay, somebody stupid enough to show me how to do this live, and then here we are. Okay, I started with 1 camera, now I'm up to 7. I get no problem sharing with people. I think more people should know. TOA, do you have any? I have no idea what TOA is. Living life traveling. Ooh, give me a call. We should chat. Donald, but we have to own 100 shares of a company to do your strategy. Not necessarily so, Donald. Now, let me explain something to you. Now, when I say stocks have a tendency to go up in value just before the EX date, well, let's take a look. Now, this is called dividend capturing. So we're going to get out of there, get out of, okay, October's not going to work for us, so we're going to go to September. Let's take a look at General Electric. Okay? General Electric, the 26th. 2 weeks before, on a Monday, would be the 9th. Right? General Electric, the 26th. 2 weeks before, 1 week, 2 weeks, on a Monday would be the 9th. Okay, so let's put in General Electric. General Electric, the 9th of September. I don't know. What do you think? Did it go up on the 9th? Here's the 9th right here. Okay? 9th, 10th, 11th, all the way up to where we are currently right now. Now, V, can this strategy be implemented with small accounts? I just showed you. Okay? So, if the dividend is on the 26th, got a big question here, Michael. I remember seeing you back in March or April, but you got lost in the stream of thousands. But I remembered the outline of what you said, been trying to find somebody to explain it. All right, Michael, I'm not quite sure what we mean by that, but all righty. So anyway, you can go into websites such as Robinhood, Webull. There's a few others that will allow you what's called a fractional share. Dividend capturing, I'm listening. A dividend capturing, okay, which is where you buy the stock. So if you have $50 and you put $50 into General Electric, well, it's a $185 stock. Can you put $50 into it? Yes, you can. Spanish, English, and I will subscribe without talking. Okay, VE. I'm saying an account size under 10,000. Yeah, I get that. I hear what you're saying. So if you got 10,000 in your account, let's say you do 5 positions, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. You want to do 10 positions? Fine. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So you put $1,000 into General Electric. So what is $1,000 General Electric? Clear, $1,000. The current price is $185.38. $185.38. So $1,000 of General Electric is 5.39 shares. Okay, 5.39 shares, and then you get to collect the dividend. Fine. Buy it before the EX date. The stock has a tendency to go up. Not always, but it has a tendency to go up before the dividend date. When you get your profit, you jump out and you say, great, what's next? Well, let's see what's next. Okay, see all these little dots? 61 companies here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 4 is 9 times 4 is 36. Okay, 61 companies here, 36 here, about 30 here, 51 here, 106 here. All these companies are paying their dividends. Okay, you want to find out if they consistently increase their dividends? Well, here we go. Go back to Yahoo Finance. Okay, go over to historical data. Okay, let's go find a dividend. Here we go, dividend right here. Okay, let's go right. There we go. 82 cents. That's it. 82 cents. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 78.21. The dividend's 82 cents. We're going to add this to that. 82 cents. We'll be looking at 79.03. Right there. So it took Where are we? Right here? Wait a minute, 10 days. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 10 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days before you hit your target. Did it go up? Yes, it did. It took 8 days. You buy it at the opening, 10 days prior to the EX date. 8 days, you're up. Does it happen all the time? Fine, let's go look at another one. Oh, here's another dividend right there. 61 cents, 10 days. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 78.75. Okay, 78.75 is the opening. 61 is the dividend. You add the two together. 13, 79, 36. 79.36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days you're out. Dividend capturing, it's not that difficult. You buy it before the EX date, 2 weeks on a Monday, usually, and then you wait for the stock to move up, you capture the dividend, you get the hell on out, and you move on to the next company. Well, what company's next? Well, take your pick. Look at them. Okay, let's break it down by the week. That's by the month. Here's by the week. Look, 61 companies. Whoops, let's get out of here. Bring it all the way up. 61 companies. Hey, Ratu, how are you? 61 companies. LTM, DOYU, RF, CASS. Look at them all. 61 of them. Just this one day. 61 companies having a dividend. Check them out. Is it what you like? Are these companies good? Do the numbers work? Okay, so you can do it with smaller amounts. Takes a little bit longer, but talking about consistency. I'm sad, Ratu, I'm terribly sorry that you're sad. I had nothing to do with it. It can't help you out. Anyway. All right. Well, then you probably shouldn't be here. You lost everything to trading, you probably shouldn't be here. AGX. I'm not even gonna do that one. All right. Paloosh! That's true. That's me. Yep. I complicate everything. Yep. No, you're not the only one. What if the stock drops hard? Do you hold and keep selling calls? Well, of course. What else am I going to do with it? Okay. What if the calls don't yield a 1% return every week on the underlying stock you already own? All right, Dan, hold 1 second. Donald, you don't have to wait for payday. You can sell at EX date. Yep, that's right. The game is to be sold, not told. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but okay. Why wouldn't we stay in, let's say, GS and collect dividends every month? Yeah, hell no. Terribly sorry, dude. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying, so I'm not even going to bother with what you're saying. Ozark's a no. Dan, all right, this is going directly to you. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? All right. Now, as I said, all my trades, no doubt. Yep, okay. Now, as I said, I post all my trades every week. Now, as of today, they're all posted. See, week number 39. I haven't figured out the numbers yet on them. It's a little bit more complicated. It takes a while to do that. So let's go back for the fun of it, Mr. Dan. Are you ready? Do I make 1% every week? No, I do not. But let's take a look. Now, I'm just going to show you one side. All right. Week number 1, right here. See, week 1, first quarter, 2.99%. Week 2, first quarter, 2.43, 1.35, 2.78, 1.62, 3.68, 2.57, 2.02, 3.73, blah, blah, blah. They're all there. We are currently coming into week number 40. Okay, we just finished week number 39 on Friday. There's 52 weeks in a year. Week number 39 was Friday. Also, it was week number 13 for the quarter. There are 13 weeks in every quarter. Okay, so tomorrow is the last day. What's your website? The 10-Minute Trader. Okay, it says it right there. The10minutetrader.com. Now, when I was saying, what was I saying? Damn it, don't get old. It ain't as glamorous as people make it sound. Oh, so what I was pointing out, Dan, okay, let's go all the way up to here. Where is it? I had a string of bad luck. I wanted to show it to you because I want, okay, right here. Here it is right here. All right. Week 21, 8th week, 2nd quarter. Okay, 2nd week, no, 8th week of the 2nd quarter, week number 21. Okay, 1.2%. So you click on the screen, there they are, Macy's, Marathon, Win, Intel. Okay, 1.2% for week 21. Look at week 22, 0.6. 0.6, that's not 1%. Week 23, 0.6 again. Week 24, 0.6 again. Week 25, negative 0.15. Are you nervous about the outcome? No, I'm not. Sorry. But look, the next week, 1.5, 3.3, 5.2, 2.2, 3.3, 2.8, 3.15, 2.81, 8.1. I couldn't believe, I had to do this one 3 times. 8.1%, week number 34. We're currently just finished week number 39. All the numbers are there. Okay, you can check yourself. So, does it happen? Do I get 1% every week? No, I don't. Some weeks I get more, some weeks I get less. But I average over 1%. Like I said, we're in week 39. I have one account that's over 50%, another account that's over 70%. That's over 1% a week. Anyway, let's keep on going. I have a few that I want to take a look at, very obviously increasing. Yeah. Eric, yes, I like your answer. Thank you, Don. I said, dude, simply say do not invest. If it's no, then we just wasting time to listen. Yeah, okay. Simply say not to invest, blah, 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 blah. This is money. I don't care about my feelings. Well, Conductor Ray, thank you. Okay, you look like you're about my age, you know. Okay, born in the 60s. We don't care. Definitely invest, yeah. I really don't care about people's feelings. Really, I don't. Money is money. Okay, we all need it. We are the only species on this planet. The only species on this planet that actually has to pay to be here. That's it. We got to pay to be here. So money has to come from somewhere. You work your whole life, you get to a certain point, and you have a small amount of money, whatever that is. My amount of money gives me 1% a week. That 1% a week pays my bills. I'm 60 years old. I was going up to check on my boat one day, right? And I was filling up the van. This guy pulled up in a nice black Cadillac, nice spiffy suit, had the name tag on there. He worked at one of the resorts. Hey, great. I asked him, I said, dude, how old are you? He says, I'm 84. I said, cool, you're getting out of the house, you're doing a little bit of work. He says, yeah, I have to. I said, wait a second. You're 84 and you have to go to work to pay the bills? I do not want to be in that position. He was a nice guy. 84 years old and he's still working just so he can pay the bills. I don't want to be there. All right, I'm 60. I make 1% a week. It pays my bills. Now, my account grows very slowly these days because I pay, I use all that money to pay my bills. Denny, with taxes on a 50% profit on short-term gains is steep, yes or no? Denny, hold on a second. Michael, if I join first tier, do I get the calendar? Okay, dude, you know what? Drop me your phone number. I'll give you a buzz. We can walk through questions like that. Denny, here's the thing. If you are worried about taxes, you remind me of the guy who goes to a Rolls Royce deal and say, hey, what kind of gas mileage does this thing get? Think about it. Think about what you're saying. If you're going to invest your money and get a 50% profit per year, don't you think it would be wise to talk to someone so you don't have to pay taxes? Now, I don't like talking about taxes because every time I do, I get a flag. And I don't want them to cut off my channel just because someone doesn't know how to talk to a tax strategist. Okay? Now, if you have your trading account in your own personal name, yeah, you're going to pay a shitload of taxes. Okay? Why you having it in your own name is beyond me. Put it into a corporation. Put it into a trust. Put it into an LLC. Put it into a nonprofit organization. Find a way to protect your profits. That's what that big fat book is. The IRS code? Yeah. That's not a code to tell you how many taxes you have. That's a code to tell you what to do to not pay taxes. Okay? Yeah, figure it out. What's your top 2 picks for the morning? How are those? Coney, no. NVDY, no. TSLY, no. Can you start with a small account? My grandson starts with 50 bucks. Granted, he's only 4 years old and I manage it for him, but he's 4 and the account is not going to be handed over to him until he's 18. So for the next 14 years, myself, my ex-wife, the other in-laws, and my son and my daughter-in-law, we take our spare change. You know, think about it, your spare change. 50 cents here, $1.25 there, and between the 6 of us, we calculated out he should have a couple of $100,000 by the time he gets 18. Like, Steve, y'all have a good night. Sell some nice, yep. AbbVie, yep. TJX, yep. Your thoughts on AI stock? Nope, I don't do it that way. Albert, my dad always said it's good to pay taxes because it means you are making money. Albert, I'm going to disagree with you, okay? It is your God-given right to legally not pay taxes. Think about it this way, okay? The taxes you are paying to the government is not going to the government. It's going overseas to other people. You think that they're paving the roads with your tax money? No, they are not. That money comes from gasoline taxes, firearms taxes, alcohol taxes, property taxes. Okay, income tax does not go to the government. It goes to, let's say, Belarus. It goes to Syria. It goes to Ukraine. It goes to Palestine. It goes to Israel. It does absolutely nothing for us. And don't get me started on that one. Nokia, yep. The consistency, I like that one. Rick, do you ever roll an option? Uh-oh. I kind of like that question. I missed it. Wow. Okay. Where was that question? Where was it? Where was it? Oh, do you ever roll an option into the next week when the numbers make sense? Absolutely, Rick. You would fit in perfectly into our trading group. On Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, just before the options expire, we jump on, we take a look at the numbers. What did we buy it for? What was the stock price? What was the strike price that we sold the option? What current price is the option at now? Are we going to be in the money, at the money, out of the money? Are we going to be profitable? What are we going to do? We decide that at 3 o'clock on a Friday. Do we roll it into the next week, buy some more time? Yes, we do. What time do you go live in the morning for members? It is at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Are you the U.S. Canada? And we're in the U.S. I'm in the U.S. Casey does roll, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for sharing. Tapping the screen helps the live to show more people. Oh, okay. Andrea James, does McCormick or Levi pay weekly dividends? McCormick, isn't that MC? Oh, I forget what it is. MCC? MCK. No, that's McKesson. No, MCC. What is McCormick? Who knows what McCormick is? Anyone? I don't know what McCormick is. Sorry. Any thoughts on Ford? We already did Ford. What platform shows all those companies' dividend dates? That is Thinkorswim. Dan, yes. All right. You don't net 50% after a huge short-term capital gains. Denny, I haven't paid taxes in over 2 decades. The Mixtap TV5. Okay. So, Denny, here's a question for you. Now, in an interview, okay, Warren Buffett clearly states he pays less taxes than his secretary. Donald Trump paid how much taxes in 2016? $750. Okay? Yeah, if you're paying taxes, someone is lying to you about something. Does Thinkorswim have a dividend calendar? Yes, it does. Okay, everything you see behind me on that screen, that's all Thinkorswim. That's nothing to do with me. What's my biggest mistake? Hold that thought. How do you set up Thinkorswim scene to look like what you have in the chart? Adam, that's a great question. I actually walk people through that to help them out. Love from India. Namaste. Okay, Adam, yeah. You do get used to it after a while, and you have to do a lot of searching around. These little arrows right here, they play a big part on what you need and what you don't need. These little thingies over here, a lot of them you don't need. You can just get rid of them. Use just what you need and ignore everything else. Okay, what's my biggest mistake? My biggest mistake is putting too much money into one position. That's my biggest mistake. I lost $91,000 putting all my money into one bet. Yeah. Taxes are going to wars and bombs. You're absolutely right. 9 a.m. every Monday. No, every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, McCormick's is MKC. MKC. It's going to be a no. Andrea, terribly sorry. It's monthly. It's always a no. Appreciate all the info tonight on this cover call strategy. Stay blessed, boss man. Thank you very much, Robin Richards. Okay, so we're just about done. Let me finish up my list. Nike, NKE. Nike is on the list. Okay, here we go. First thing I want to see with Nike. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? What current direction is it going? 89.44. 89.74. We're looking at the 90s. $2.70. That's over 2%. All right, well, let's take a look. A year ago, we're at 97.01. We top out the end of January at 123.27. Okay, the bottom, look at the bottom. It was back in July. We got like a triple bottom. Look at this, a triple bottom at 70 bucks. Okay, middle of July and the beginning of August. Then she shoots up, pulls back, shoots up. Yeah, Nike's going to be a no for this week. Look where it is. Now, Nike I'll put on the list for 2 weeks because I want that thing to come down before I look at it again. So Nike, N-K-E. All right, so that's Nike. Next on the list, PM, Philip Morris, PM. Interesting. I like the pullback. See it? High, low. Where was it? Where is it? What direction is it going? Here's a pullback here, bouncing up. Great. I want to take a look at that. But before I do, what am I buying it for? 120.70. Looking at the 121s, 85 cents. Yeah, no, thank you. Sorry, dude. Toyota does not work for me. Home Depot. HD. Home Depot. That's going to be a no. It's at the high of the year. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, Home Depot in 2 weeks. Home Depot 2 weeks from today. That ought to work. Next on the list, Oracle. O-R-C-L. Yep, that's going to be a no also. John Deere. D-E. Definitely a no. Verizon. V-Z. Another no. Whirlpool, W-H-R. Another no. JWN, Nordstrom's, JWN, Nordstrom's. That looks interesting. Okay, Nordstrom's. High, low, where was it, where is it, what direction is it going? 22.69 at the moment, the 22.50's not listed. I can't give a good answer if they're not going to list the prices. So, Nordstrom's, we're going to take a look at that tomorrow morning. JWN. 3M. Now, 3M was a dividend king. Now it's not. Okay, and it's going to be a no, but we'll look at it in 3 weeks. Okay, look where it is. The high of the year. I'm going to give it through 2 weeks for it to pull back down. Take a look at it again. All right, next. Dell. Ooh, I like Dell. Dell pays great premiums. And Dell is going to be a no. Look at the last 30 days. Thursday was a 30-day high. Friday pulled back. Yep, she's coming down. So we'll put Dell for 2 weeks. We'll take a look at it again. D-E-L-L. That's Dell. Next on the list, CVS. CVS, just to let you know, I do own some CVS. That's going to be a no, 30-day high. AGNC, AGNC. Interesting, I like that. High, low, where was it, where is it, what direction is it going? 1055 to 1050 is going for 4. That's a no. Wait a minute. Yeah, it would have to be 10 cents to make it viable. That's a no. Sorry, AGNC's a no. ExxonMobil, XOM. We only got a few more to go. You guys have been, hey, Brian wants to take a look at DVN. DVN. All right, ExxonMobil, check it out. High, low, where was it, where is it, what direction? It's just channeling sideways. The 115.95, the 116, that's over 1%. That's a yes. Let's take a deeper look. Okay, a year ago, we were at 118. Bottomed out at the middle of January at 95.58. Well, here's our top right here, and that's 123.75, the middle of April. Okay, she drops back up, back down. Last 30 days, let's check it out. Last 30 days, right? There we go. Last 30 days, check it out. 30-day high, 30-day bottom. Back up, back down, and now she's going up. Simple, we've seen this before. I like ExxonMobil. XOM. Hershey's. HSY. HSY. Ooh, interesting. Okay. High, a low, where was it, where is it? Look at this big fat channel just going sideways all year long. 193.36, the 192.50s are there. If we take off one, we're losing a buck. 140, yeah, that's not going to give me 1%. Sorry, no to Hershey's. Pfizer, you guys been waiting for Pfizer all night. Here it is, PFE, PFE. Pfizer, okay. High, a low, where was it, where is it, what direction is it currently going? Look, she drops, now she's going to the upside. We're at 29.09, 29.11, the 29 is going for 38, that 11 cents, 30, 27, 27 to 43, you're barely making your 1% on this one. Okay, well, let's take a closer look. Decon, Boeing's going to be a no. 34.09 was the high of the year, and that was a year ago. Well, here's the bottom. We got a quadruple bottom at the 25.26 area. Okay, and that was back in April. Hits that bottom 4 times. That's what you call support. When it hits it 4 times and it doesn't go below, that's support. So from there, she goes up, pulls back, up, pulls back. Right now, last 30 days. Here we go. Last 30 days. 28.60. Here's the bottom at 28.10. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up, pulls back, shoots up, pulls back. Now she's going to the upside. Okay, so Pfizer is a slight possibility. PFE, PFE. I'll take a look at that tomorrow after the market opens and we get updated numbers. Because as soon as the market opens, all these numbers are going to change. The math and the equation doesn't change. What am I buying it for? What's the covered call? What's the rate of return? Is it a yes or a no? And does the chart tell me yes or no? Okay. Last one on the list, Advanced Auto Parts, AAP. This is the last one for the night, and then we're going to be done. Here we go. I like the chart. High, low, where was it? Where is it? What direction is it going? Here's the bottom right here. She's bouncing off that bottom, going to the upside. I love a big drop like this. Now, if you own it and it drops like that, it's not so good. But if I'm looking to buy something that has a good rate of return, well, I want to see that drop. I want to see where the bottom is. I want to see it turn around and start going back up again. Because at some point, it's going to bottom out, turn up, and go back up. Well, that's exactly what it's doing now. but let's check the numbers to make sure it's right. Okay, currently 41.60. The 41.50 is going to be the closest, but I'm losing 10 cents. Okay, you take 10 cents off of that 95, well, I'm walking away with 85 cents. Well, 85 cents on a $41 stock, that's over 2%. Okay, close to 2%. All right, so let's check out the numbers. A year ago, we were at 56.60. Okay, we topped out at the end of March at 88.33. Now, from the end of March, she goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, you know, and then they have the gap down here, and here's the bottom. Okay, so last 30 days. 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, right there. Okay, here's the last 30 days. This is an invitation and a half. Okay, 30 days goes the high, 47. 3 weeks ago, 37 is the bottom. So it goes from 47 to 37. That's a $10 drop. A $10 drop on a $47 stock, that's right around 20%. A little bit more than 20% drop. Okay, retraces back to the upside. Okay, profit taking. Here we are now, 2 days the upside. Currently at 41.60. Great. Ooh, here's a clue. I haven't given this tip out all day. Here's a tip. Okay, the last traded price, 41.38. The bid, 41.41. That's higher. The ask, 41.60. That's higher. When both the bid and the ask are both higher than the last traded price, the market maker is going to push it up in the morning. Not guaranteed, but highly probable. Going to push it up in the morning. Great. If he's going to push it up in the morning, look what we got going for us. We got the dividend coming up. We got the numbers working out over 1%, close to 2. Okay, 2%. Now look, 30-day high, 30-day bottom, back up, profit taking, back up again. That's all stocks do. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Great. One last thing before we close out. Let's take a look at the seasonality. What does this normally do this time of year? Okay, well, from here to there, that's pretty safe to say that that is an upward trend. Okay, going to the upside very slowly. I like slowly to the upside. Don Kyoto, you have a nice night. We'll see you again tomorrow or the next night. Come on back. I love questions. Real Steph 2. Is that Real Steph 2.0? Cool name. All right, so anyway, I like AAP. I'm going to put it on my list. AAP. There we go. Now, all that being said, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by The 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, take you along for the ride for a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. You guys have a great day, and we will see you again tomorrow. Getting out of this one, done. Getting out of here, done. Out of here, done. Have a great night. You too. Cost for training. This is it, Dan. This is your training right here. But if you want to join me live trading, that's $100 a month. So in the morning, 9 a.m. every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we jump on at 3. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. I stay on as long as you have questions. You stop asking questions, I get off. Got it? Got it? Get it? Got it? Got it? Good. Marie, how are you? You didn't say anything all night. How are you doing? All right. I'm looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow, Marie. Have a great night. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.